can deliver the goods here at home. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Grizzlies. Last season, they couldn't get the edge in the matchup as they went 1-2 in the season series.
And over the course of last season, they dropped the majority of their games when facing this team.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis, Zebo and Marc Gasol are up front. Conley and Lee, they're the backcourt. And it's Allen in at the three, the small forward. Now here is Conley. Allen, right side. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. You know, going back to Steve's point, this series was not one of the highlights of the season last year.
Yeah, Kev, you wouldn't expect them to come out on the wrong end of that series, but it happened that way, and we'll see what happens going forward.
Ball against Lee. Just 5 on the clock. Jordan with the screen on Lee. Redick for three. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Redick's got his first 3 points of the game.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Now here is Conley. Gasol, a screen on Paul. Conley kicks to Gasol. Over in the corner, Lee. A three-pointer is right on target.
How about that? They respond to a three-pointer with a quick three of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
Paul against Conley. Redick is in the corner. And again, Los Angeles with a triple.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Clippers on defense. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And, Kevin, in that game, we saw a lot of sloppy play from the opposing offense. They coughed the ball up way too often.
Yeah, and that did make things really easy, guys. Nice to get a win if you're on that side of it and not to have to work too hard for it. Although they didn't end with the best record in the West, the Clippers were one of the top teams against the West. They had a terrific in-conference record.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Outside Conley. The feed to Gasol. Griffin against Randolph. 6 to shoot. Banked in off the glass.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 from the floor, so a good start for this club.
Los Angeles has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Griffin a screen on Conley. Paul dishes to Griffin. Over in the corner, Barnes. Back to Griffin. Shot from 12. Again, Los Angeles.
It's going to be tough for the defense today. If he's got his A game rolling here tonight, we'll see.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I caught up with Coach Dave Yeager. He told me it's a fun challenge trying to slow down a team that's so cagey and opportunistic offensively. He said, of course we've done our scouting, but this is the first time we've seen them firsthand this season. So it'll be interesting to see if we can take them out of their sets and slow them down at that end. Guys, they'll have to be solid defensively. Back to you.
Doris, thanks. No better way to enforce your defense if you can keep that defensive shooting percentage to a minimum.
And for that to happen, Kevin, it's going to take a complete group effort defensively.
Steve, that's an excellent point. Defending a team that really can stroke it like this requires an awful lot of good communication among all the defenders. Everybody has to be chattering and aware of where bodies are at all times.
The Clippers shooting their first free throws here for the night. The free throw drops for Redick. The Grizzlies, grit and grind, known for being old school, post you up and lock you down type of basketball team.
Yeah, and that front court rotation, boy, the envy of the league, in my opinion. It's a big part of what makes this team really go.
He doesn't get the second one.
But guys, for the Grizzlies, a new ownership group, and it seems maybe some tweaks to their identity. They've looked to spread the floor a bit more and pick up the tempo. But the results last season were pretty mixed.
Now here's Randolph. Here's Conley. Blake Griffin pulls it in. And it's Paul penetrating. He kicks it to Griffin. That is good. Griffin's got 6 points.
And, you know, the Grizzlies last season, I thought they did pick up their pace slightly. but they were still a team at the bottom of the league in that regard in terms of fast break points and pace of play. It's really hard to get away from who you've been for so long. This is more of a half-court, grinded-out team.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Memphis shooting their first free throws of the game.
Taking 2 shots.
That free throw good from Gasol. He's perfect from the line this time.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match. Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Now here's Conley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. So we'll see Zach Randolph go to the line here. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. Memphis shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. And Zach Randolph, no good on that one. Los Angeles leading by 4. Griffin passes to Barnes. Looking for Redick. He gets it there. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but their cutting, their movement together as a unit that's led to that.
Now here's Gasol. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. These teams were last season's best passers. The squads with the most assists in the NBA. The Clippers 3rd.
Well, I thought this team last season was a team that had some beautiful dimes. I mean, they would spread the floor with their ball movement and spacing and player movement. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Nice passes leading to baskets.
And the first one drops. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Los Angeles leading by 5. Inside, here's Paul. Soft touch off the glass. Paul's got his first basket. Chris Paul, Clark, the driving force behind the Clippers offense. As good a distributor as he is, he's also been probably, I think, their best crunch time scorer.
Perhaps that's the case, but I think Blake Griffin has made big progress in his scoring game over the last season. More assertive, more skilled, turning and facing, getting to the free throw line, getting better, knocking down free throws as well. And I think that's kind of helped take some of the scoring pressure off of CP3.
A lot of people who watch the NBA really kind of challenged him to expand his game, and he answered the challenge.
No, he did. He stepped up big.
Now here's Paul after the Marcus Almas. That pushes it to double digits. Paul's got 5 now.
It has taken them no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here.
And let's take a look at last season's numbers for Chris Paul. 1st in assists, 1st in steals, and he was very solid from the foul line, closing out the year among the top 20 in terms of free throw percentage.
And Steve, as you said, I mean, he finished the season with the most assists in the NBA. So often he controlled entire games with his dime dropping.
Here's Conley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
And last season when Chris Paul separated his shoulder and had to miss about a month, I think that was when Griffin really asserted himself. That team kept winning. Really good sign for the Clips.
Clippers leading by 8. Here's Redick, and he uses the glass on the layup. Got 11 points.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. I mean, just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
Dishes it to Allen. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And Chris Paul, despite the injury, won the 2013 Los Angeles Sportsman of the Year award. He grew up in North Carolina, never figured he'd get so far away from home, but he seems to have settled in nicely on the left coast.
Now here is Conley. The dish to Gasol. And he uses the glass on the layup. 9 points in the game so far. Los Angeles has gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. And they double up Paul. Out to the right wing. Barnes kicks to Paul. Now here's Redick, covered by Lee. 4 on the clock, doubled by Conley. Nobody near Barnes. They grab their own miss. Griffin, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint. You know, the Clippers had really good depth at the guard positions, but last season their lack of depth along the front line was a real problem, one they hope has been solved this season.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Hawes comes in for DeAndre Jordan, and it's Crawford in for Barnes. The Grizzlies also making a change. Tayshaun Prince is checked in for Allen, and good on the second, so he makes them both. And looking at the Clippers bench, maybe the strongest in the NBA 2 seasons ago.
Well, the Bledsoe trade weakened their bench, but it strengthened their starting lineup. But a winning team in Los Angeles with a players coach like Doc Rivers, I mean, you knew they'd be able to find some help. Well, I'll bet his teammates love playing with him. He's distributing the ball perfectly.
Well, he keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
Now here is Conley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
You have to give credit to the Grizzlies for being right in the playoff race to the very end last season. Certainly, nobody wanted to see them in the first round.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. And that one falls for Mike Conley. Boy, you said it, the Grizzlies were the team that nobody wanted to see in the first round, and they showed why with a great series against the Thunder.
Well, they took the Thunder to 7 games. They actually had a 3-2 advantage in that series, but couldn't pull it off. Still a great showing for the Grizzlies as that 7 seed.
And so Mike Conley nails both of them.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
Paul outside, pass to Redick. Releases. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 6th assist on the night.
They've been outstanding here in the first quarter. Great spacing, excellent passing, and the three-point shooting has been unbelievable.
Now here is Conley. A shot by Randolph. Nobody around. And that one hits back iron. Here's Crawford. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And the Clippers lead by 14.
Yeah, he put himself in great position to finish that break off, guys.
Yep, right to the rack.
Ball's knocked loose. Prince dishes to Conley. Sinks the triple. Conley's got 5 now.
Not a really great start for him.